some things for you to know. And then everyone to the top of their lungs will chant back, YO Info. Yeah, so some of you already know it. So for those of us who don't know it, we'll do a quick practice round, all right? All right? So on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. We got some things for you to know. YO Info! I think that was good enough. I feel like I didn't even need to do it again.
Alright guys, so Harrison, where are we right now? This is TNL guys, welcome to TNL. It's going to be every Tuesday, whatever room this is, 1021, same place, same time, so there's that.
Yeah, this Friday at I believe it's the North River building, yes, at 7:30 p.m., we'll be having our family Devo with Georgia Tech, Emory, Georgia State, and the people here, and the people at Kennesaw, and the people at Life University. It's going to be amazing, it's going to be hype, and spiritual, and come to grow.
And then next on our pretty list of announcements, we have the retreat. Chase, what's the retreat?
Place that we go to get closer to God.
Yeah, exactly that. So, oh, plot twist. So actually before the retreat, we have church on Sunday, like this Sunday, at the church building. If you need the address, ask the person who invited you out, but it'll be at 11 a.m. But yeah, the retreat, the link is not there, but you can use this box thingy, and the link, ask a friend also, and they'll give you the link.
Yeah, and a little more on the retreat as well. I think retreats are kind of becoming like standard in the Christian world, which is amazing. But oftentimes it's kind of like, well, why do we do it? And there's a passage in Luke 5, we'll read 15 and 16, but it's mainly 16. It says, "Yet the news about him," being Jesus, "spread all the more, so that crowds of people came near him to be healed of their sicknesses." Then in verse 16 it says, "But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed." Or you could say he retreated to lonely places and prayed. And I think the reason why we as a ministry have the conviction of going to retreats is like, okay, well, one, we're following Jesus, so why would Jesus, retreat to these lonely places? I think it's because he realized, just as these other people in the world around him needed that healing, that refreshment, that spiritual food, he needed it too. He needed that isolated time to connect with God, and to be alone and to be silenced away from all the noise. And that's the whole purpose, and that's the whole intent. And even like John asked, like, who signed up? I'm not here to condemn anybody. I just encourage you, hey, sign up for the retreat. Try to get off work if you can. If you can't, it's not the end of the world. You're not in sin. But I would say to fight to do whatever you can to be there. Retreats for me have done a lot. That's where I first met Nick Williams up here. He used to be in the campus ministry back yonder years ago. And and like Imani said, you can scan this QR code. And if you're not able to do that, you can download a QR scanner. And you can ask a friend. It's $65. And it's going to be amazing. It is next weekend. Not this weekend, but the next weekend. October 19th to the 21st. All right? So we're going to pray, and then we're going to have a special announcement. Actually, we're not going to pray. We're going to have a special announcement.
Let's go special announcement.
Let's go.
What? Okay, guys. Seriously. Do you guys remember? Can we get it up? Can we get it up? Do you remember our special guest from last week? Our nice Mark Ottenweiler coming in here? Dr. Ottenweiler. Coming in here talking about superheroes for orphans. Does anyone remember what that is? Yeah. Jill, you want to tell me? Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay, so we're having a 5K walk, November 3rd. But Superheroes for Orphans, it's more than just the 5K. We are it is an organization raising money for orphans in Africa. It's helping with childhood development. It's helping empower women. I'm so sorry, Jill. It's helping with healthcare out there. All the money that we get to raise through this event and through the cause boxes and just everything that we're doing through Hope for Africa is going directly to people in need in Africa.
Yeah. I think even with this topic, I think of just I think it really hits me deep because I think of just all the government organizations that we have in place here in America that gotta help us, that assist us with neediness, with food, whether it's orphans or even with women. You know, we have I feel like we have so much that we take for granted here. You know what I mean? And these people over there, if they have no food to eat, they have nowhere to go. They have nowhere to run to, no people to turn to, and I feel like we can be there for them, even all the way 3,000 miles across the ocean. You know, and one scripture comes to mind when I think of this cause. Please turn to James chapter 1.
Let's go, Kenny.
Verse 27.
Tell us about it, bro.
Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after orphans and widows in their distress and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. And this goes hand in hand with that. Am I right?
Yeah.
Now, brothers, men, guys, how are we doing with this? How are we doing with taking care of these orphans? Pull it up.
Let's go, ladies.
Come on, Kevin.
It looks like right now, ladies, you're in the lead. $35? What is that? Come on, girls, let's go. Take out your phones now, everyone. Let's donate right now.
Guys, fellas, we can do better than this. Right now, what is stopping us right now, fellas, men, what is stopping us right now? Opening up this cause box and donating at this moment. I want to see the number go up now. Now, right now. Refresh. Right now. Keep refreshing. Somebody, please.
Joe, are you donating right now?
Guys, we can do so much better.
Hold on.
Guys, we can do a whole lot of better job, guys. I believe in us, guys. You know, let's get out.
Just refreshing it.
And if we can't give financially, we need some volunteers on the day of the event. So that would be from 7:30 to 11:30 on the 3rd of November. So if you guys want to sign up to do that, come see me after TNL. I'll be right there with my laptop, so you guys can sign up to do that. But
Come on.
wait, can we get another refresh? All right.
Phaina, in case you missed it. I just want to tell you guys about how I ended up there. Okay. So I grew up believing in God, but I didn't necessarily see the point in Him. Didn't really go to church. Good stuff. My parents got divorced when I was 7. My mom is super tough love, and my dad was just never around, so I became a people pleaser. I went to other people looking for the love that I didn't get at home. And so if my friends, fast forward to high school, if my friends wanted to drink, sweet, I wanted to drink because I wanted them to think that I was cool, and I wanted them to like me, and I wanted to be loved. I hated drinking. I just want to make that known. Like, I hated it, but I went into it doing it, so I was like, okay, cool, this is what it's going to make people like me.
Let's go, what?
I'm a little bit nervous.
Come on, Phaina.
Come on.
Okay, and so when I was in high school, I was on the drum line, and I was like one of the only girls. And so all my friends would be like, I don't know, kind of knocking on people who believed in God or just saying terrible things, but I would kind of go along with it and be like, yeah, whatever I could, I guess, to fit in to them and like be the cool girl or just have people want to be around me. And then in high school also, there were these girls that claimed to be Christian, but then they would go drink and they would go like to these crazy parties. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I'm going to get into heaven no matter what. If God is even real, if heaven's even real. So I'm going to save myself this extra step and just not go to church. Like, these people are hypocrites. Like, I don't understand the point of this.
Oh, God.
And I was really excited for college. So I was like, dude, everyone's telling me memories of my life, like lifelong friends, it's going to be great. No. I got here and no one talked to me. Like, everyone's glued to their phone. I don't know, whatever. So I was feeling a lot about that. And I was in AP and honors in high school, and I didn't try, but I made A's. So I came to college and didn't try, and I failed. And I was like, what's happening right now? And yeah, I had no friends. My grades were trash. And I remember like going to this one frat party with a friend from high school, who invited me, and it was awful. Like, I didn't really have fun. And I just remember, like, I don't know, just feeling so empty and feeling like, this sucks. Like, this isn't at all what I thought it was going to be. But then, started dating this boy, and that was even worse than when I was single. So,
Come on, Phaina!
I planned out my life with this boy. Like, he was my everything, but I wasn't his everything. I was like, I'm gonna marry him, we're gonna have kids, they're gonna be the cutest kids ever. And then one day he just told me he didn't love me anymore. And so I just remember feeling so broken. And like, it was a super simple relationship, and I even started like smoking pot because he was a pothead, and I was like, I need someone to love me. I don't care what I have to do, but I feel like I sound like I'm gonna cry, but I'm not. I sound like I'm
Come on, Phaina!
Anyway, back to what I was saying. I was like, I just need someone to love me. And I remember this one time, like, we were smoking, and I had a panic attack. It was the worst experience of my life. But then, like, the next time we hung out, he asked me if I wanted to smoke again, and I was like, of course I do. Like, sure, whatever. Because I just did not value myself. Like, I did not care about myself. I was like, I need to do anything I can to get anyone to love me. So yeah, when we broke up, I was really distraught. Because then I was back to having no friends, back to having trash grades, back to not having anyone to talk to. And at the time, my grandma was diagnosed with like stage 4 cancer. And I was like, my life is literally falling apart. And I just remember one day, like, weeping because I just felt like I had no one. I felt like I was totally by myself, felt like nobody cared about me, didn't have any real friends. And I ended up like getting a text from this girl, her name's Lizzie, and she was like, hey, are you coming tonight? I was like, let me be clear, I did not know Lizzie at the time. I was like, who is this girl? What is happening tonight? I'm not going, I don't care. I'm going. And this other girl texted me too and was like, hey, are you coming tonight? I'm like, what's happening tonight? I'm excited. And they ended up like inviting me out to a Devo, which if you can go Friday, you totally should. So I go to this Devo, and lo and behold, the lesson is about deeper friendships. And I just remember, you can ask Lizzie, I remember going up to her after she gave her lesson, just like snot-faced, disgusting everything. I was like, yeah. Pretty real. But I could not believe it. And at the time, I thought it was a coincidence, whatever, but I mean, our God is too big for there to be coincidences. So, just like, I don't know, the way I just felt like, dude, something's going on here, and I don't know what the heck it is, but I want to find out. I realized I stopped looking at my notes a long time ago.
Come on, Phaina!
I don't know what happened. Yeah, okay, so then Lizzie asked me to study the Bible, And I had no idea what that was, but I knew it meant friends. So I was like, yes, sign me up, like I'll be there. And I just remember reading the Bible, and I think it was the first time that I had ever seen what love was. And I think it was just like a time where I felt like I could be me. Like I could be Phaina, the girl who doesn't want to do this, but like loves to watch Adventure Time or something stupid like that. It was probably like the greatest thing that had ever happened to me is to just see how much Jesus loves me. And I realized that I literally didn't need to do anything. Like I didn't have to run in circles like I was for these people that didn't care about me. I could just be myself. And it just felt so satisfying and filling because my entire life I had been looking for someone to love me, and I found him. So weird to think about. Good.
We got it, Mark.
Come on, Phaina.
So yeah, I decided to go all in and give my life to Jesus on October 17th, 2017. And I wanted to read the scripture to you because I feel like it screams my life. John 10:10 says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I, being Jesus, have come that they may have life and have it to the full."